Boom Chanka! Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. How's it going? Joined by Henry Hotspur.
He's in the house. Good evening.
He's had his haircut. Nice haircut,
yeah?
Henry.
Do you like it, dear? Is it a little bit less Kim Jong?
It is considerably less Kim Jong, actually. Who've you styled it on this time, mate?
I don't know. I just literally Googled men's hair 2018, and I just picked one. Literally that, like one of the sort of first sort of 40 images that comes up or whatever, but probably one of the first 25 images that came up of men's hair 2018. So trying to get in with the current trend fashion of the world.
Fair play, man.
I don't know if that has worked. I haven't styled it this evening. I have used no kind of wax, gel, whatever you're into. But
so when you searched hairdos 2018, did Psy Gam Gam style pop up?
He did not.
You sure? I'm
sure.
Convinced, mate. I'm convinced.
I'm sure.
Anyway, hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Sorry we're a little bit late.
Belated.
Belated,
yeah. Do you use that word? Do you ever use that word in your day-to-day life? Belated. Tell me when you last used it. Reckon you used it.
I think people say it when it's a late birthday. They're wishing somebody like, happy belated birthday or some shit. That's what I think. But for everybody who's tuning in now, we've got some comments coming in. Thanks so much for joining us. Dean Flynn, how's it going? Ramzo, how's it going? He says, City won the league on my damn birthday, lads, for F's sake. That's not good. Stephen Zevon, Pig sets his own trends. What are you talking about, Steve? The coconut drums.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter, my son.
That's it. Everyone out there is sat there in some fucked up old school jumper right now.
How's it going, everybody? Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. Lots have happened in the footballing world over this unbelievable, unforgettable weekend. Which is, of course, Man City have already won the league now because United have bottled it.
Prakash Kumar says, I came here for a rant.
Yeah, well, you missed the video, mate. There's a rant video earlier. Check that one out. I'm sure there'll be a significant amount of abuse coming out in this video too.
We are just starting to wind the wheels, you know. We are just greasing them joints, whatever it is that you say.
Just getting that cog turning, you know. It's like Conan the Barbarian on that machine that he's pushing around, you know. When he first went on that, he was a little kid. You've got to let him grow up into a big man. Then he'd be able to do it better.
Evolution, baby.
Anyway, feeling pretty random tonight, yeah. Just trying to forget about it, really, because obviously it has just cemented how much of a shit season this has been now, because City have won it. United have given it to them as well. All well and good, them beating Tottenham the other day. Really good result and performance by them, considering the little downturn in form they had. But what do? Classic Manchester United at the moment. Classic Manchester United. We beat City last week, league champions. And then we lose to the bottom of the league today to gift City the title with them not actually having to do anything. So I'm gutted about that.
Both our teams lost this weekend, which is that a first for the Pig and the Hen show? It's unusual that both Tottenham and United would both lose on a weekend. I don't know if that's happened this season. Let me know if it has. But it's devastating. But the only difference here is we lost to the top team, who's just won the Premier League today, and you lost to the bottom team, West Brom, who are managerless. I mean, they've got whoever, I don't even know his name. He's so fresh and new, and he's got his first win. But whoever that guy is, fair play to you, son, because he's obviously come in, he's done a job. They're not gonna stay up, are they, this season, West Brom? But fair play to you, West Brom. Absolutely mugged United off. Absolutely mugged you off.
Mate, can I just draw attention to something here? Check this out. We've got somebody called Henry in the house. And their avatar is you.
Oh no, but they did this last time.
I know, but they didn't have the avatar though, did they? They full on got a picture
they've actually
of you,
got my thing on there. That is weird, mate. That is weird.
That is quite strange.
You got my hat, mate. Give me my hat back, you prick.
Awesome. I admire your creativity there, sir. But to everybody who's joining us, do us a favour, please chuck a like on this video. If you want to give it a share on social media as well, that'll be good. Matt James says, evening Pig and Henry Hotspur. Evening to you, Matt. Yeah, so Widom7 comments and says, what needs to change, Pig? I mean, what? Lots needs to change. Henry's outfit for a start.
Oh, shut your mouth. Considering how much United have spent, how much Jose has spent, you've had a shit season, really. You are so far behind. It's laughable that on the last Pig and the Hen show, we were kind of saying, well, just imagine if City lose to Spurs, and then you're probably going to beat West Brom, and then, the pressure's on. Could start to get to that, possibly. What mugs? 1 week later, it's all over. Done and dusted there.
I know.
Have some of that.
It's so true, man. You know what? It's classic, isn't it? Do all the dirty work, the hard work, coming back in that game against City, and then against West Brom and they're bottom of the league. I mean, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it.
I think you had completely the wrong attitude. The players are to blame today.
Players, I just want to say this right now.
Long.
Here's your rant, whoever commented and said they wanted a rant earlier. Here's your fucking rant. These players, they're on however many hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. I don't give a shit if they've not necessarily got anything to play for out there. What they should be playing for is to please the fans, is to entertain the fans, is to get that win for the fans. And not worry about, you know, it doesn't matter if we finish second or third or whatever, let's focus on the FA Cup. Because I bet you that's what half these prima donnas had on their mind, you know, in the game today, is that, oh, well, this game doesn't really mean anything to us, really. You know, we battled our hearts out in the Manchester derby because that actually meant something. It doesn't really affect us if we lose this game. And I feel like they just didn't have 110% commitment. They were just jelly braining it out there, you know. And
jelly, but I feel like that right now, mate.
That's what it seemed like. The players just didn't connect today. It's just there was no verve and unity in the side whatsoever, like there was in that second half against City. It was all just horrible football. Like they couldn't barely string passes together between them.
Henry says, "I support Tottenham, so I am shit at knowledge." Well, fucking get your English right for a start, Henry. You prick.
Oh, I've just seen. I didn't realise you were actually commenting down there on another device. I didn't realise you were doing that, mate. Fair play to you. That's a good joke.
Oh, mate. No, but United, all at sea today. Honestly, the impression I got from the Manchester United players today was this is going to be easy. West Brom, bottom of the league, shit team. They've just sacked Pardew. They're going nowhere. We're just going to... The way you were playing, I saw it. You're kind of playing quite intricate football, you know, to a certain extent, just thinking that you'll be able to outpass them. You just pass the ball around and the ball's just going to go in the back of the net. But that did not happen.
Couldn't break them down, man. We couldn't break them down.
Took it way too casually. We're in second gear, if not third, fourth, fifth gear, all game.
And some of the players as well. Paul Pogba, man. Paul Pogba. He's gone from match winner, 2 goals against City in the derby, to an absolute £90 million turd again in the centre of the park in 1 week. I mean, it is just so frustrating with Paul Pogba because you expect more from him. You expect him to at least maintain a certain level of consistency, because how can you be so good 1 week and so bad the next? You know, there's no middle ground with that twat. It's either I'm awesome or I'm absolutely gashtastic. And today we got the gashtastic Paul in terms of attitude, in terms of actual play. And it's just so frustrating to see because we all know he can do it. I don't rate that guy as like a leader or a player who can grab a team by the scruff of the neck and drag them forward. He's not that type of player to me. If he was, he'd have done it on a much more, you know, frequent basis than he has done. And he has done it at times, but yeah, I just think mentally there's something wrong with that guy.
Today you came up against a well-organised, well-drilled West Brom side with absolutely no pressure at all, absolutely nothing to lose, playing with complete freedom in the knowledge that they're going down. No one's going to think anything differently if they lost that game today. So they have got quite an incentive actually from an individual point of view. As those players, you're going down, you're thinking, fucking hell, well, I want to make sure I'm staying in the Premier League, or if I am going to stay with West Brom, the manager's going to stick with me for the Championship season so that I'm still getting paid the big dollars that I'm used to. And you saw that today. You know, they didn't have Johnny Evans in there. They didn't have Gareth Barry. I think a couple of the lazy ones, the ones that like to nick taxis. I think Liverpool's turned a new leaf. You know, ex-Spurs player. You know, he's still thinking about England. He's thinking he might have a chance at the England squad. So he's been all right. He's been a good carrot out of a few bad rotten carrots there. West Brom, had a point to prove today. Just thought, fuck it, we're going to play our game, we're going to play well. Pardew's gone, time for a new fresh start. And United, you were not ready for it. You just thought it was going to be a walk in the park today, and that's how you played it. You just walked in the park, and them guys were chasing you down like hounds.
Totally agree. We came up against a really good, determined side today. They may be going down this season, but today was probably their best performance all season. Maybe if they'd have had this new manager implement this earlier on, they'd be all right. Based on today, you'd have to say yes. Because, United did have like 72% of the possession, and we had more chances, but they just defended like lions, and, Jay Rodriguez, obviously the man to get them their goal. So I just think They've basically had their best performance, and we've had effectively our worst performance, and that's why they're beating us today. But it all just boils down to them wanting it more. We've got a bunch of little prissy players out there. That's what it is. And Jose's too negative as well, And maybe he would have a bit more joy out there if he just said to the lads, look, okay, we might not necessarily have the league position to play for. City may have won the league. Let's just go out there and score fucking 28 goals. Lukaku, get yourself a double hat-trick, son. Why doesn't that shit happen anymore at Manchester United? We used to destroy teams. I remember beating Ipswich Town 9-1 in the fucking Premier League. It's so frustrating.
It's shocking. There's a lot of unhappy United fans out there at the moment. That's for sure. Because bottom line, there is a big proportion of fans out there that want Jose out. I know you're not one of them. But just the fact that you spent so much money, you're so far behind, you're playing defensive football that just hasn't worked, an attacking side that's just absolutely shone this season, has won the Premier League, and made you look like mugs.
Yeah, but let's not forget we are still second, mate. I don't know how any Tottenham fan could call us mugs, man, in all honesty.
We're still only 4 points behind. We've both made it to the same stage of the FA Cup. We've both made it to the same stage of the Champions League. We've basically had very, very similar seasons. Very similar seasons.
We have, but currently we are sitting prettier in second place, right? We've got a game. Don't we have a game in hand on you as well? No, not anymore.
You've just got 4 points ahead.
We've got a game in hand on Liverpool.
You're 4 points ahead of us, that's it.
We've got a game in hand on Liverpool.
Yes.
I believe so,
Yes, that's correct.
Liverpool, there was a couple of Scousers commenting earlier, Ryan Kirkpatrick and also somebody else. Sorry, I've missed it now. Apologies for that, but I'm sure somebody will give you a credit there. Oh, C. Bouillon Casper. Nice name there, pal.
For me, I believe Liverpool can win the Premier League next season. I think that can happen. I'm going to say it. Remember this, watch this space. I think that can happen because they have had a brilliant season. As soon as Van Dijk came in, as soon as they've shored up that defence a little bit, they haven't been leaking goals. They haven't been conceding goals late in games like they were beginning of the season. If you're looking at form, second half of the season, they would have won the Premier League. And well, maybe not actually, because Manchester City have basically just won every game this season, haven't they? But Liverpool have been fantastic.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Listen, they're too gung-ho, mate. They're not going to be consistent over 38 games to win a league, I don't think. Yes, they can beat anybody on their day. They can beat anybody on their day.
Well, they had a good win yesterday where there wasn't much pressure to win the game. And
against fucking Bournemouth, mate. Against Bournemouth, we saw
Bournemouth are not the worst side of the Premier League.
Yeah, but what did Liverpool do to
Bournemouth have been able to overturn Liverpool in the past, come back.
Look what Liverpool did earlier to Bournemouth in the season, though. That was, I think, 4-0, wasn't it? Domination. They've got Bournemouth's number. What I'm saying is, yes, Liverpool are an amazing attacking side and they can beat anybody on the day. Absolutely, they've proven that recently and this season. But they can also lose to anybody on their day because they are ropey at the back. They are too gung-ho. They do commit so many numbers
Not
forward.
so much now.
Well,
Not so much now.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. But I just think Liverpool...
They proved that against Manchester City over two legs. They are a top side. They were able to nullify the most attacking side that the world has almost ever seen in terms of...
They're not the most attacking side. Man City are not the most attacking side.
Very much an attacking
They're the most
side,
possession football style. Yes, they do attack, and they have got the best goal difference. So I guess that speaks for itself.
Well, there we go.
But
I'd say
because I'd say Liverpool are much more attacking side than City. Much more direct, much more aggressive, much more to the point. Attack. Whereas City are much more patient, build-up play. So they are definitely attacking. Their end goal is to score goals, but they're not the most attacking team or anything. I don't think. I just think they're the best balanced team. Pep Guardiola's done a brilliant job there. He has that style of play. That's the thing with the Pep Guardiola style of play, is that he does just bring that into your side, whether he's at Barcelona, whether he's at Bayern, whether he comes over and manages City. He has this ability to just implement his tactics and his philosophy brilliantly into whatever team he is managing. Now, of course, it helps if you've got ridiculous talents in your side, real world-class players to work with, which he does, but also they actually they perform his tactics very well. And that's why they've won the league this season, because his possession style football, his patient style football, the balanced football that he has his teams play is the most effective way to win games. Whereas a Liverpool attacking team, okay, it's great, it's entertaining, you might rip teams open, but you also might leave yourself vulnerable at the back and get counter-attacked and concede goals against teams you maybe should not be conceding against. just simply because you are very committed with your numbers. This is why I think Liverpool have the ability to win the Champions League this year, but not necessarily have the ability to win the Premier League next year, because I don't think they've got that consistency. But in terms of just being able to beat anybody on their day and winning a tie over a couple of legs and then a final, I think they can 100% do that. And I think everybody remaining in the Champions League, especially Roma now who's drawn them, will be shitting it coming up against Klopp's Liverpool, because they do go for it. But, if Roma approach that game with the right tactics and don't allow Liverpool to bully them and, sit maybe a bit deep and defend and, just the longer the clock goes on, the longer Liverpool are more likely to expose themselves.
Are you a Liverpool Red in the closet Liverpool Red?
Absolutely
You've gone
not.
on a bit of a tangent. It's like talking about their next Champions League tie. That is, way down the list of things that we're supposed to be talking about on the Pig and the Hen show today, and you're bringing that up now. You love that Liverpool, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I fucking love Kloppy, mate. Shut up! I don't love Liverpool, okay? What I'm trying to say is that you were saying they can win the league next year, and I'm saying no, they fucking can't. I'm explaining why they're an awesome team, but I'm also explaining why they're not consistent enough to win the fucking league.
Alex Red in the house. What's up, guys? Just joining. Thank you for joining us, because we like to be joint,
Thanks so much, Alex. We've got a bunch of people tuning in live to the channel now. Pig and the Hen Show podcast. Remember, you can find this on iTunes and SoundCloud if you search Pig and the Hen or Pigcast podcast. It should come up there if you want to listen to it in the audio version. So go over and do that. Also, if you're tuning in right now, make sure you do chuck a like on this video. What you doing, lads and lasses?
So we're struggling to keep this video.
You may be. I'm absolutely loving it.
Nice
I'm flowing,
and happy.
mate.
Well, you're flowing, but surely you're crying inside because City, your neighbours, your noisy neighbours, just won the league today.
All right, I didn't allow you to finish your sentence, so you're on about our happiness levels. Yeah, not freaking happy with Liverpool being in the Champions League. Not happy with Man City.
You didn't mean to say Liverpool
then.
I covered up Liverpool. But you said Liverpool because you love Liverpool. It's Liverpool on the mind. Liverpool.
I covered it up really well, though, and then you've just exposed me.
Absolutely exposed you.
But anyway, not happy with Liverpool in the Champions League. Not happy with City winning the league. What I am happy about is that we have got a great draw in the semi-finals of the FA Cup against those melters, Spurs.
To be fair, we did melt.
Gauntlet thrown.
We did melt yesterday against Manchester City. To be fair, they are the best team in the league, but they're the only team really that I would say have overcome us this season. Just been a better side, more shots on target, more possession, more goals, and just been better than us. But what I like about Tottenham Hotspur and what I like about Mauricio Pochettino is the football that we play, the consistency, and we get the results of what you kind of expect for each game that we're in. You could have probably made a lot of money in some ways if you'd predicted scorelines for Spurs all season, because I reckon that some of the scorelines have been quite predictable. Whereas Manchester United, on the other hand, losing to the likes of Huddersfield earlier in the season, losing to West Bromwich Albion today, that warning signs, it worries me. It's like one of them lights in your car dash have come up. I don't know which one it is. Is it the engine management one? What is it? But that is what Manchester United are right now. That stupid little red Fiat Panda.
I don't think you could ever compare us to a Fiat Panda, mate.
What are you then?
We're a Ferrari that needs a good service, mate. That's what we are. That's all that we are.
Well,
what the fuck are Spurs, mate?
The sky blue Lamborghini is dominated you this season, hasn't it?
I'll tell you what Spurs is. Yeah. It's like Spurs is like a good, reliable, dependable Honda or something, mate. But it's good. It's nice. Nothing wrong with a Honda Accord.
Like a Type R.
Yeah. Maybe like a Type R. Yeah, but that shit's going to break down eventually, and it's just not going to be able to keep up with the Ferrari, is it? That's basically what it is, mate. Just not as doesn't have the same level of esteem. Oh dear. Stephen Zevon comments and says that would be amazing if he was a Liverpool fan this whole time. To be fair.
Yeah, would you still be subscribing to the channel though if he was? That would be if you did come out as, if you came out as a Liverpool fan, what would happen to your channel?
Listen, lads, I've got fucking something to tell you. Like,
you've done this before, haven't you? You've done that before.
I've done this before, but my name's actually Stevie Carragher, mate. I'm from fucking Bootle. Can't even say Bootle right. You got to go nice. Bootle. Yeah, sorry, Henry, mate. I'm gonna fucking spit on you now, pal. Because my name's Stevie Carragher, mate.
Fucking awful, mate.
You scratched me fucking car, mate. I'm gonna go and put a fucking brick through your window, pal.
I wonder if we actually have any Scousers in the house, because they'd think that accent was proper abysmal.
I don't know if they would, lie. I'm fucking decent at the fucking Scouse accent, mate. It's easy. You just gotta spit a lot, yeah? You gotta sound like you've got a fucking lisp half the time, yeah? And then...
What's that?
Okay, well, it's not perfect, mate, but I'm working on it, yeah? And then you basically just gotta sound like you've got sort of like some sort of brain cell deficiency. It's not a good accent. It's not good.
Liverpool. That's the only thing I can try to do. I'm from Liverpool.
Give us a job, mate. Go on, give us a fucking job, mate. And also, it helps if you say fucking every other fucking word, pal. That's what I fucking find. If you're struggling to find a filler word to sound more fucking Scouse, all you gotta fucking do is add the fucking word fucking in there, and you'll fucking sound way fucking more Scouse than you would if you fucking didn't.
You started to go a bit hard at the end there. I don't know where that was going, mate.
Oh, dear, I need a good laugh, man, after today, mate. It has been a shit day for Manchester United. Absolutely gastastic.
A shit weekend.
Mate, what other accents can you do, mate? Are you confident and comfortable that you can do?
Confident and comfortable?
Yeah, go on, rip some
I could
accents.
do a real, strong Korean accent.
Go on, then.
Oh, hi. Are you alright? Oh, no. I'm not okay. Why? Why you look at me like that? No. No, you're very silly. Are you stupid, huh? You fucking stupid, huh?
That's fucking brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for sharing,
you like
man.
That, did you?
I did, yeah. I don't think there's any other ones I can do. You're right, mate. I'm from Wolverhampton, a bit of a brummer, but I try to stay away from Birmingham because, I fucked it.
From Birmingham? Oh, I'm shit, mate. I'm shit. I reckon Scottish. I've done it before, haven't I? His leaf is leaking through Imbrie.
Oh, dear. The Coconut Jams commenter says, do some impressions, lads. Can you do any impressions,
I can't really.
Can you not? I don't really think I can do it.
If you want to see good impressions, there's some good YouTubers out there. There's a David Attenborough one out there that's absolutely mint, isn't it? So good.
Yeah.
But, let's not do impressions. We are not here to do impressions. We talk about sport and have a laugh, don't we? But, I can't do no impressions. Do you know what I mean?
Long metamorphosis.
That's Sir David Attenborough.
That's awesome.
Good. Love it.
And we look at the bird in the Galapagos Islands.
That's the shit, man.
No, I can't really do any decent... I don't know... no, not really. I actually did a video once. You might be able to find it. Doing certain impressions, but I can't remember who I did. I think David Attenborough was actually one of them, mate, but it wasn't very good. And they're all a bit shit.
Right, well, go on. Well, anyway, accents-wise, what else? I'd say I could do a relatively okay North American accent. I don't know if it would be Canadian or which part of America, but, if I just, slip into this tongue right now, I've been living in the UK, staying in this, my friend's boat here for, 5 months now, and... he's got me locked in a cage downstairs. I'm really struggling to breathe. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh my God, can I handle just one more night in here? Oh my fucking God, right now. Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask you to stop talking right now. Right fucking now.
I don't know why I said abode. Thank you, Stephen, for commenting abode. Because do Americans say abode? He's got me locked up in his abode.
Oliver Heaney comments and says, do a Portuguese Mr. Bean. Well, if you ask me to do Jose Mourinho, then it's not going to be very good because...
That sounds more like Carvajal, mate, or something.
It sounds like your sort of generic, maybe Mediterranean accent, maybe Italian or Greek or something. It's not specific to any one country. Maybe even Russian or something.
My idea of Mourinho is just you'll think I don't care? You'll think I look at these flowers and they slowly die? No, not for me.
That's better. That's definitely good. Fair play to you. Alex Rudd says, what the fuck was that kind of American accent was that, Henry?
I don't know, you tell me, Alex. Do you know what I mean? I told you, didn't I? I did specify before I did the impression that I did not know which part of North America it's from. So please help me with that one.
I can do all sorts of different American accents, mate, based on the area. You got hey dudes, my name's Steve-O, I'm from California. In fact, that's an impression I can do, mate. Okay. Steve-O, how does that sound like Steve-O?
That's all right.
Welcome to Jackass. Piece of piss, that one. Then
you got, I'm not good at
New York City. They sort of hey, I'm from New York. Sitting on the sidewalk. Got myself some coffee and donuts.
Yeah, I got myself
Cup of coffee.
Coffee.
Fucking cup of coffee.
I spilled my coffee all over my lady. No, I don't know where that went, mate. This is what I shouldn't do impressions, mate, because I cannot do it, mate.
Sitting on the sidewalk, motherfucking NYPD bust up on me. I'm just sitting here sipping on my coffee. No, it's not great. It's not great.
Oh, brilliant.
You're a fine man, and your wife's a fine man too.
From Northern Ireland.
Hoi noi, Brian Coy.
Nye. You gotta. All you do is instead of saying
Boston.
instead of saying now, you just say nye. So we're going to the shop now, or whatever, innit? Pretty much.
Oliver Heaney says that's Boston. I don't think Boston's like from Boston. You know, I'm part of the Boston Police Department.
Department. You just got to proper spit out that department bit. I don't know, something like
that.
Can
I just say to you guys who are tuning in right now, what the fuck are you doing? You're just watching us do accents and you're still here.
Can we just finish it off on the Australian? I'm from Australia, think Australian, drink Australian. So, I'm crying right now. I was rubbing that ball and my career's over from Australia.
Nice one. Right, should we get back on track?
I guess so. So, Premier League results today, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, this is terrible. It's supposed to be some sort of a football podcast. We're just
a bit late. It's because it's late,
inane fucking accents from around the world that we're not even good at.
Yeah, terrible, but it's late. It is late. You've got to give us that, haven't we? The mind's starting to go kerfuzzled. Oh, that's a good word I made up.
Yeah.
So, yes, today's results.
Rasmus A giving us a bit of jip here, saying talk about football. The shit performances by United, Spurs and Arsenal. I just said that
it's not like Rasmus. It's not like Rasmus. You can't get through your week without listening to the Pig and Hen talk about football. I mean, come on, mate. Do you know what I mean? Is that what your life's about?
All we ever do is talk about football. Surely you want us to enlighten you.
Okay, right. Well, let's look at yesterday's results quickly. Chelsea 3, Southampton 2. Southampton absolute mares. They were
unlucky, man. Unlucky.
Looking comfortable with 2-0 up. Sparky's there thinking, happy days, got another year in the Premier League, loving myself. And no, Chelsea banging 3 goals in the space of 20 minutes or so. And Southampton are now rooted in the bottom 3. I said earlier in the season they're going down. I said it.
Didn't they lose the last game?
I said West Brom are going down. I said Swansea are going down, but they changed manager. That's why Stoke are going down.
Didn't they have the same bad luck in the last game where they were leading?
Arsenal. They had Arsenal. So it's been a couple of tough fixtures.
I mean, if those fixtures had gone their way, they could be sitting pretty now, and that is what the Premier League is all about. You know, you've got to get the result. They haven't done that. They've been perhaps the better team in both of those games for large portions. But at the end of the day, Mark Hughes is doing the old Mark Hughes special. And they're going down.
Burnley 2, Leicester City 1. Okay, Leicester is safe. They've got nothing to play for. Mid-table, Burnley is still looking at chasing Arsenal for 6th spot. They are still banging the running for a Europa League placement next season. Sean Dyche, what a job he's done this season. Absolutely brilliant manager. I'd love to see a big team go for him. The trouble is, I just don't see any big team going for him at the moment because he's not going to get in the top 4. No way.
I reckon Spurs might go for him.
Of course they wouldn't. Don't be silly.
Yeah, because they're going to have to replace Pochettino somewhere.
Pochettino ain't going.
He's fucking going this summer, mate.
Shut your mouth.
He's going this summer, mate.
He ain't going.
He's going to Spain. He's taking Harry Kane with him.
I think Chelsea's not going to have him. So I think if any team had him, it might be Arsenal, but probably not. I feel sorry for someone like him because there's no way he's going to take a team like Burnley into the top 4. There's a ceiling. They only got a certain amount of money to spend. They sold a couple of key players like Keane, Michael Keane. And someone else, I've forgotten his name, and they bought. Fair enough, they spent a bit of money. Chris Wood, they got some good solid. What a season they've had though. When you see how many goals they've got a positive goal difference, and they're both in the 20-somethings. It's mad, isn't it? They just proper control the games. Don't let loads of goals in. Control the games, win lots of games, and fucking do well. Have a good season.
And how many points are they behind the likes of Arsenal? Not many. Not many.
Not many at all.
With a club like Burnley, that is unbelievable. Dyche's done a great job. What a Dyche bag. The Coconut Jam says Sean Dyche is just another Moyes at Everton. We will see. I think you're right, though. I think his best bet is just to stick around at Burnley. He's obviously got quite a good infrastructure in there. The board, the fans, I'm sure, absolutely love him. He can never really break into the top 4, as you say. maybe being an
got a
Everton,
certain budget.
like
They
a
can
David
only do
Moyes
as
at
well as they
Everton, is
can.
probably his best bet because he could take a risk. Maybe somebody would employ him who's at a bigger club, like an Everton or something like that. Obviously not now because they've got Big Sam, even though they've been doing shit. But yeah, I think you're right, man. There's a scene it's British managers these days just don't get the opportunities, which is pretty disgusting, really, isn't it? They should be given these opportunities. Like Arsenal, a British club. Now, Arsene Wenger may be leaving at the end of the season, maybe not, but let's just say that he does. Arsenal in a million years would never go for Sean Dyche. I don't think
you
so.
never know.
I don't think they
But
would,
it's
even though they
unlikely,
probably
isn't it?
should.
Let's be honest,
Alex
yeah.
Rudd said Arsenal may go for him. Yeah, maybe, but I think
Would you have him, Alex Rudd?
They
Let
go
us know.
and
Would
get
you-
a big
would you be
continental
happy?
name.
Would you be happy if they were announced Sean Dyche as your manager next season? I'd like to know your thoughts on that one.
But I think they probably go for, they'd rather spend more money and try and get somebody a bit more flamboyant with a bit more of a reputation to bring in these quality, top quality players. Reputation means everything for a club like Arsenal. They go get Diego Simeone or someone and break the bank. They'd rather take a risk on a well-known foreigner with a big reputation than they would give somebody like Sean Dyche, who's got proven Premier League experience and could actually get them solidified. But maybe not.
I mean, people. I've heard professional opinions on this, and there's people tend to think that maybe he wouldn't be able to manage those egos. How is he going to get Mesut Ozil, Ozil, to play how he wants him to play? Do you know what I mean? Like the Burnley way, like solid. You're just not going to get that out of Mesut. But on the other flip
Just
side
put
of it,
fly paper around the pitch,
on the
mate.
flip side of it,
Fly paper.
who's to say that Sean Dyche won't be able to manage players that have more ability? He's not going to set them up like Burnley. If you've got the players to play, you're not going to set up like Burnley. The way Burnley plays, they play very, very defensively when the ball's in their own half. Solid as fuck. And then they only start to play football when the ball's on the other in the opposition's half. They've got big forwards there like Vokes and obviously Chris Wood, which hold the ball up. So that's their idea. Play defensively, get the ball up to the big forwards, let them hold the play up, and then play football, and then get that goal in when you can. And that's worked for them all season.
Yeah, 100%. Good question here from Ryan Kirkpatrick, who says, who do you think should be player of the season this season? I mean, for me, it's quite an easy one. Just look at the goal-scoring table at the moment. Who's top of that? It's Mo Salah at Liverpool. Pains me to say it, but he has been the best player this year. And not only that, I think he's got something like 9 assists. And if you look at all the rest of the players who are below him and have less goals, I think you've got to go really far down, like quite far down to about 12 or something. Like Christian Eriksen, I think, has got the same assists as Mo Salah. So if you're talking about impact in a game, what he actually brings to these games, 39 goals he's been a part of, 30 of which he's actually put in the back of the net and 9 he's assisted. Up at this point, I mean, we're not even in fucking May right now. He has had an unbelievable season and definitely far and away, head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of the player of the season this year. We've had other good players, sure, but he has been just head and shoulders above everyone. So fair play to Mo Salah. He is one of the best players in the world right now.
30 Premier League goals. Most goals scored by any African player ever in the Premier League in one season. That beats any of Drogba's records, etc. Right? Yaya Toure, etc. Okay. 40 goals in all competitions. Right? Yeah. This is his first season. Mohamed Salah has got to be player of the season for me. And a runner-up, I was going to say close. Yes, close, but not close, but close enough would be Kevin De Bruyne because he's had an absolutely fantastic season.
I thought you were going to say Harry Kane then.
No, not at all. Some of his passes, Harry Kane's had a good season, but no, I mean he hasn't had.
He scored 25 goals.
He hasn't had a spectacular season. Well, he could still end up scoring more than Salah. You never know, but I don't see that happening.
I doubt it. Yeah.
But De Bruyne, some of his play, De Bruyne has been special, but he has gone missing in games, whereas Salah has never really gone missing. He's basically scoring every game. He is the top man. Coutinho left Liverpool. Some people thought, oh, that's a big player, missing a big player there, and it's almost been better without him. Salah's just been able to step in and it's been absolutely guns blazing.
He has been unbelievable, and the rate at which he's done it. I mean, Oliver Heaney comments as fast as 30 in any league. If that's true, that's absolutely unreal. I mean, I'd like to know how many games Luis Suarez did it in that time when he was banned for like the first 8 or 9 games of the season, because he hit 30, I'm pretty sure, and he did it in like 8 less games than everybody else. So I wonder who's got the best like goal score ratio out of those two. But Salah's got to be ridiculously close. I mean, I think
Salah's done better. He's outdone Suarez.
Yeah,
what Suarez ever did for Liverpool, I believe.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but I don't know if he has. I mean, Luis Suarez was a massive player for them, wasn't it? It's just that Liverpool
but,
are a much better
in one
side
season,
right now.
Salah's had a better season than Suarez.
But he's got a much better team
season.
around him, though. I think that team, it was basically without Luis Suarez. They were bang average,
It was
dog
just
turd
Suarez
shite,
and
Stevie
and
G.
Gerrard, wasn't it? Basically?
That's it.
Yeah.
K YouTube commenter says Suarez got 31 goals in 32. Salah has 30 in 33.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong
So
then.
very, very close indeed. But so far, based on what you just told me there, Suarez has got a better goal scoring rate. But in terms of the quickest to do it, yeah, because of that suspension that Suarez had, I think it has to be Mo Salah.
So player of the year
Unbelievable.
for me.
30 goals, unbelievable.
Isn't it ridiculous that Harry Kane still qualifies for player of the young player of the year? He's still on that list.
Is he
That
really?
is stupid, isn't it? Because basically, if you're born something like a certain time of year and you're still 23 years old as a player, then you could you're still in that bracket to be young player of the season if you were good enough in that season. Harry Kane is there. It's silly, isn't it? They need to change that. I think that's wrong, isn't it? That someone of Harry Kane's stature could still potentially win the young player of the season. Do you not think? Do you not think they need to lower the age? Do you not think 23, 24 is a bit old for young player of the season?
Maybe, but the fact is it is the young player of the season. It's like, is it really fair to compare a young, like 23 or 22-year-old with a seasoned professional who's 29, 30? Why deprive him of the opportunity to win young player of the season when he maybe not be ready to compete with the player of the season? Do you know what I mean?
But he is ready to compete player of the
He
season.
is, but somebody else may not be that was capable of winning the young player, but not capable of winning the player. So I see why they do it, because it's like, at that stage, who's the best young player? That's what people want to know, you know?
That doesn't bother me too much. Though.
Right. What do you think about, actually, while we're on Harry Kane and goals and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think about him obviously claiming that goal the other day?
It doesn't bother me at all. I know he's had a lot of banter about it, it's a bit, but fuck it. Do you know what I mean? He's claimed that he's touched it. The panel have awarded it to him because they obviously believe that he has touched the ball. So that's it. End of story. It's one dubious goal out of countless amazing goals that he scored this season. So who gives a fuck?
Plus, fair play, you would do that, wouldn't you? If you can claim it. He is still... I mean, what, has he won the Golden Boot the last 2 years before this season?
This would be a hat-trick of Golden
Boots. If he
Boots.
could do a hat-trick of Golden Boots, I think only Thierry Henry has done that, right? Did he do that?
I don't think it's ever been done.
Has it not ever been done? I think Thierry Henry possibly did it.
Who's that prick that commented earlier that negated what I said? Go on, do it again, prick.
But anyway, yeah, Harry Kane, fair play. He's got to try and stake a claim to that top goal scorer spot this season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's plenty of this season left. Mo Salah he could actually break the all-time goal scoring record in the Premier League. The way he's going, you wouldn't deny him that. So that'd be quite something if he could do that.
There we go.
I think it's 34 at the moment. 34?
For what?
Maybe 36, actually. Most goals scored in a Premier League campaign.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Salah's going to be close to
Quite
that.
possibly,
close to
quite
that.
possibly.
Right, Swansea won, Everton won. Nothing really needs to be said. Both seasons are over. Swansea just need to make sure they get enough points to stay up. Everton, just quickly want to say, a lot of discontent with Everton. Don't really like Big Sam, and I can understand why. The way he plays his football, it is very negative, isn't it? Nobody likes negative football. Jose's, it falls into that category of sort of managers that fans almost dislike, especially when things aren't quite going their way, but just generally dislike because of the style of football. So it'd be interesting to see if they hold on to Sam Allardyce. Obviously, they've got this Silva out there available. That's the guy they wanted. That they were flirting with. They were tickling the ball sack, and then Watford discharged, castrated. You know what I mean?
Like it, mate. Yeah, like it.
Palace 3, Brighton 2. Good result for Palace then. Really need those points. Putting a bit of gap between them and the bottom 3. So fair enough, Brighton. As long as they can keep ticking along, then they're safe this season as well. Huddersfield, massive win for them against Watford. Watford, season over. But Huddersfield, haven't been able to score a goal. I think that's the first goal they scored for games and games and games now. So really needed that win. That gives them the fighting chance. And fair play to them, because Huddersfield, do you know what I mean? Beating United this season, bloody hell! No one gave them a hope in hell staying up this season, and to the fact that they're still there or thereabouts is testament to.
Can you just pull up the league table, actually, pal, when you've got a second?
Of course, I can.
Because I just want to look at the
That's
bottom
very polite, wasn't it? Between the big and the hand there, unusual.
So the bottom 3 currently are Southampton, Stoke City, and West Brom. West Brom are on 24 points. Stoke City on 27. Southampton on 28, and then there's a gap between them and Swansea City, who are occupying the last safe place at 17th, and they're on 33 points. So do you think that Southampton, Stoke and West Brom are the teams that are going to be getting the guillotine?
I believe so. I've said as soon as Carvajal came in at Swansea, they've looked like a different side, a side that wants to fight, that look like they're enjoying their football to a certain extent now under Carvajal. So I think they'll stay up. Palace, again, an improvement under Roy. They've got Zaha firing on all cylinders. They've got good players. Moisey, again, I said earlier in the season, I think, some of these old heads, he's done well, really, because Moisey's name was tainted, wasn't it? Badly tainted, and he's managed to get a bit of respect, I reckon, from a turbulent, is that a word? Turbulent time at West Ham that it has been this season. Obviously, they're renting, aren't they? They don't even have their own home. Absolute discontent from their fans this season, pretty much trying to attack 80-year-old owners, etc. You know what I mean? So fair play to Moisey there.
Now, he has done well, Moisey. When he's come in there, he has done a tremendous job of turning things around for him, just solidifying them a bit. Maybe next season he can build on that, get them top 10. You wouldn't expect a club like West Ham, with the following that they have, the passion they have, to stay down there very long. The problem with them is they're a yo-yo team. They go up and down, up and down. Bilic had them, fifth a couple of years ago. Now look at them. But I want to say, actually, just a little word for Stoke City before we move on about the relegation fodder here. Stoke City may be leaving the Premier League. That, in a way, makes me feel quite sad, because Stoke City were always one of those teams that come up and they always overachieved. They did better than you expected them to. They had Pulis for a large period of time. They played this rigid football, Rory Delap throw-ins, and it was just a little bit different.
Brilliant,
and very tough to play against. Crouchy had all these big players, and then obviously you're not going to have that. Can they do it on a cold, wet, windy night in Stoke anymore if they're not in the Premier League, which is very disappointing? They've been we've always found it tough going to Stoke. I'm sure Spurs have. Everybody has a tough time going to Stoke, and just for them not to be in the Premier League,
not this season,
they basically built themselves into like a Premier League, stalwart, if you like, or like a team that you expect to be in the Premier League based on their performances over the last 8 years. They've just been in the Premier League. Sort of like you expected when Bournemouth came up. You're like, oh, they're going to go down. But then they've just overachieved. Looks like they're going to get another mid-table finish this year. And just the fact that Stoke will be going down.
Basically, Mark Sparky's taken down two sides this season, isn't he? He's like, fuck it. If I'm going to take two teams down with me. But, I feel sorry for him. He has not had the best managerial career, has he? But I don't think he's a bad manager. I still think he's an all right manager. But I think he's not a lucky manager, is he?
No,
he's not lucky at all.
No,
he gets mugged off all the time.
I think he's not. He was a great player. He's not as good a manager as he was a player. And the problem with him is, he doesn't seem to like to change. When the rot sets in, it's like he's prepared to go down with his ship. He's not prepared to start baiting and trying to find a new route to victory. That's from an outsider looking in how I see it, and I think that's why he's always struggled at whatever team he's gone to. He could have still been manager of Man City if he played his cards right, and actually got them playing the right style of football, but he just had them playing this too defensive, boring style of football when he was their manager. They drew 10 games in a row. He's had all the kitty transfer kit, you signing Robinho and all this shit.
Oliver Heaney says, where is all the cash gone at Southampton? That's very true as well. Interesting. They continuously sell players to Liverpool for shitloads of money, don't they? Van Dijk. How much money was that? Wasn't it 70 million?
70 mil.
Or something stupid.
But that's the problem with them. They sell all their good players.
They've sold Mane. Or they all go to Liverpool. They are a Liverpool feeder club. They sell all their good
players, don't they? Yeah, Luke Shaw.
Maybe Liverpool start to do shit now because they won't be able to get all these great players from Stoke anymore. Or, from Southampton anymore.
Think about it, man. Think about the team that Southampton would have if they were capable of keeping hold of their players. And I'm not even talking about going far back to the likes of Gareth Bale and Theo Walcott.
Let's do a quick Southampton side then now. So Lallana,
Luke Shaw,
Mane, Luke Shaw.
They sold Graziano Pella, who was a great goal scorer for them in the Premier League. Just sold him to some Chinese club.
Very much so.
Why the fuck would you do that? He was your main goal scorer.
They did have Gareth Bale back in the day.
Back in the day, I said, and Walcott, of course. Yeah, Nathaniel Klein, Lovren, says David Ojewumi. Good shouts, David. Bale, of course, says Ryan Kirkpatrick. They produced a heck of a lot of players.
Alderweireld, yes, good shout. You could make a
Morgan Schneiderlin, fucking Schneiders.
You could make a solid side out of an Southampton side.
Chamberlain, Alderweireld. I mean, just the players that we've named there just goes to show you what a great club they are at producing talent and nurturing talent and bringing it on. But not a very good
They
club.
should do charity. They should do charity games. Used to be, part of this team sort of teams. Do you know what I mean? Because it could be like Southampton's best ever 11 versus someone else's best ever 11. And you basically got like...
John Narty says, Ricky Lambert, calm down. No, when he was there, though, he was actually the tits, wasn't he? He was so good they went to Liverpool, had a fucking mare. But if they had him, though, back in the day when he was playing, and with Graziano Pella and with those players we mentioned, that back line, Luke Shaw, Alderweireld, Lovren, Van Dijk.
It's
fucking ridiculous. And then some of the other players, midfield is not, is not terrible. They had... what's his face, Schneiderlin, and they've had a really good amount of players go through their team, but they haven't got the ability to keep hold of them. They are a feeder club, effectively, a selling club, and
they've
unfortunately
enjoyed it
for them,
as well. They've welcomed it. That's how they've operated.
They just want the money. They just want the fucking money.
They keep creaming from the cream crop until there ain't no cream left.
That's it. It's going to hurt them now, though, isn't it? It's going to hurt them now because they're going to go down and they're going to lose that Premier League cherry.
Very much so.
Terrible.
So yeah, well,
That is not how you run a football club.
Look at Sunderland, these teams have got to be careful. They've got to be careful. It's scary,
then again,
isn't
it's tough for a team like Southampton to be able to, when you've got every single top quality team sniffing around your players because they are good, they are overperforming. I mean, this is when Pochettino was in charge of them working wonders and they've got a good squad. And of course, when the team gets them performing, all eyes go on the players. And then, the likes of United want to come in and sign Schneiderlin and Luke Shaw, and Liverpool want to sign after the bloody team. Of course they do, because they can see the talents that they got. So they're never going to be able to keep hold of players unless they just get players signed up on long-term contracts and are willing to play that game.
They tried to do it with Van Dijk, didn't they? They tried to do it with Van Dijk.
I think it was just trying to get as much money out of him as possible for him, though,
It's a tricky one, but Tottenham have been able to resist, haven't we?
But Tottenham are a much bigger club,
so as long as you're finishing in... Basically, the way I see it is if you're finishing top 4, then there's a good chance you can hang on to your players because you know that they're going to have Champions League football that season. So that at least they are being able to play... From a player's point of view, you want to be playing on multi-platforms, don't you? You want to be playing on as many games as you can in as many different competitions as you can. So the more competitions that the team that you play for are in, the more high-profile your team are, then that's the team that you want to be playing for. And, of course, money. But yeah.
Definitely, and if you are competing in the top of the league, you're going to have more money. But just reputation-wise, Spurs are a much bigger club. And even Spurs, over the years, they have struggled to keep hold of their best talents. Bale, of course, to Real Madrid. Berbatov to United, these spring to mind.
But these things are a bit different last few, but we've been finishing top 4 though, haven't we?
Yeah,
so
definitely,
there we go.
Yeah. That makes a huge difference.
Other results, obviously Liverpool winning against Bournemouth, we covered that already. Manchester City beating Tottenham, we covered that already. Newcastle beating Arsenal today 2-1. Fair play to Rafa Benitez. Newcastle can be looking at a mid-table finish this season, if not top 10, if they have a good end to the season with the players that they have, because they're just a championship side with a fucking phenomenal manager. That's what I'm telling you. I've told you all season, Rafa Benitez, brilliant manager, mate. You can see it. You can see it when you watch Newcastle, the effect that he has.
He's done well. I mean, he got them up last year. They won the league. He got them... Oh, no, did they? They didn't. I don't know if they did win the league. Anyway,
yes, they did. Of course they did, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they won the championship last season.
Okay, so he got them, they anyway, solidified them in the Premier League.
Fucking hell.
I'm confused, mate. I think maybe they finished second.
They did.
But anyway, he got them up. That's all that really
did
counts.
Huddersfield win it? No, they didn't win it. No, Huddersfield
Somebody's
going to
set us straight here.
And Brighton came second. Newcastle won it.
Okay.
Oh, no. Did Brighton win it?
Brighton won it, mate. I'm pretty
sure
sure Brighton won it. Brighton
bad.
won
I should know that.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
No, yeah, but that's the thing. We just forget, don't you?
Yeah,
but
nobody
Mo
remembers.
Wada says they were second, right? Anyway, he got them up with what I'm saying. Maybe slightly disappointing that they didn't just run away with the league then. But he has solidified them in the Premier League. He is a good manager. He's the sort of manager that, given a bit of a war chest and given the amount of money to spend in the transfer window, could transform Newcastle into a club that can maybe finish 8th or 7th or 8th or something next season.
But it's good to see them back in the game. Newcastle, for me, growing up, has always been a team, one of the big teams, in a way. Kevin Keegan days, etc. So
proper
you want to see him involved.
Even though they've been down to the Championship and yo-yoed a bit over the last few seasons, they are definitely a proper Premier League team. But then again, so were Blackburn Rovers, and so were Sunderland. Look at Sunderland now. Sunderland are on the verge of getting relegated to League One.
Yeah, Newcastle fans
Sunderland with a stadium of light.
Definitely mugging off Sunderland fans at the moment, isn't it? It's karma, Look how it looks on the other boot. Is that how you say it? What's the saying? What's the saying when you're comparing something like I'm trying to right there?
When the shoe's on the other foot.
That's what I'm trying to say, yeah. I was like something about looking at someone's boot. I don't know, mate. I struggle with English sometimes.
Something like that.
That's what I was trying to say.
I think you were confusing, like, you've got to walk a mile in someone else's boots.
Fucking stinky boots, mate. I wouldn't want to wear your boots, mate. Fuck me, they would stink.
Also, another thing that happened in the footballing world today is I think Wolves have been now promoted to the Premier League, haven't
they are.
So Wolverhampton Wanderers are now again a
to
Premier League side. Well, believe it was the season Mick McCarthy, and then they had Terry, what's his name? Forget his name now. Who took over and got them relegated?
Now it's Chris Wilder, isn't it?
Chris Wilder, right? So
is that his name? Chris Wilder? Something Wilder. Chris Wilder. I think it's Chris Wilder.
But they're back in the Premier League anyway. So
no, it's not Chris Wilder, is it? What am I talking about?
Don't even know who it is.
It's what's his name? It's that he's that Portuguese. He's a Portuguese. No, I need to look this up. I do know this. It just annoys me because everyone out there thinks that I don't know shit about football, and I do. I just forget things. Because
mate, I don't know who the manager of him off the top of my head because I don't fucking follow Wolverhampton Wanderers or the Championship matches.
Right,
it's fairly reasonable to not know that.
First thing I'm going to do, Mendes. That's it. Right. Let me just Google Chris Wilder because that is a manager, isn't it? And he is the manager of Sheffield United. So I've had Bears there. I'm sorry. Right, okay.
You know what's worse is you went Chris Wilder and I went, oh yeah, Chris Wilder. Like trying to act like I maybe knew as well.
Because I usually know, don't I? To be fair. But yeah, obviously Mendes, the way that they've been playing football as well, usually the Championship, you have to win it don't you? You have to be the biggest, strongest side of the Championship.
Championship!
Championship!
That's the Welsh Championship.
But Mendes has come in and completely transformed the Championship. He's playing expansive football. He's like a mini Guardiola. Not really, but fresh stuff. Very nice from Wolves this season.
They've run away with it early on, haven't they? There's some other teams now vying for that remaining promotion spot. I think Fulham have having a really good season this year.
Very much so. Mitrovic pretty much scoring every... I mean, in some ways, Benitez is probably ruining the fact that he doesn't have Mitrovic now because, he's been on fire for Fulham. If he could play like that for Fulham, come on. Championship is still a competitive league. He would be still scoring goals for Newcastle if he was managed correctly. So, Benitez needs to get that right because Mitrovic is an able player.
Yeah, and Mo Wadcombe says Villa also might come up. Millwall may be in for a shout promotion-wise as well.
Cardiff, obviously.
They've basically been... playoffs.
Cardiff have been looking like they've finished second all season to come up. But a couple of bad results. Obviously, losing to Wolves, which is the massive 6-pointer a couple of weeks ago. I think they lost their last game as well. So a couple of losses for them. And now they're not in those top two spots, although they do have a game in hand over Fulham, I believe. So it's going to be interesting. It's always, do you not think that top three should just come up, or do you like the playoffs?
I do like the playoffs because it adds a different element to it. And, of course, the top two go up anyway. Those are the best two teams in the league. The rest of it just adds... Although it is a bit crazy that the team who finishes 7th, or 6th rather,
still has a chance.
Can still have a chance. Yash comments and says, Villa will be a good addition. I mean, yeah, I feel you on that one because I think the Premier League should have Aston Villa in it. Aston Villa, before they got relegated, were always a Premier League team. They were like an Everton or something. Since the Premier League inception, I believe, Aston Villa were always in it up until that season they got relegated.
Big team, yeah.
But yeah, it looks like John Terry and his bandits would potentially be coming up, although he did say that maybe if they did get promoted that he wouldn't necessarily play in the Premier League against Chelsea. Sort it out, John, mate. There's loyalty, partner. There's just being a dickhead.
I have a funny feeling that it's not going to work out for Cardiff this season. I don't know why.
Cardiff, what the fuck we talk about Cardiff?
Because Cardiff have been nailed on for second all season. People are talking about automatic promotion for them. They've had manager of the season. What's his face? What's Neil Warnock, isn't it? Neil Warnock is manager of the season. But this is silly, these manager of the season things, because they've given a manager of the season like a couple of weeks ago, and there's obviously still quite a fair few games to play.
Have they?
He could end up not finishing in the top two, right? And then being in the playoffs and not making it through. Whereas Millwall could, with their budget, which is absolute shoestring, manage to win in the playoffs, get up to the Premier League, and then suddenly everybody will be scratching their head thinking, why the fuck is Neil Warnock manager of the season for the Championship? Absolute jokes.
AKA Mrs. Doubtfire. hello, dear. That's fucking Neil Ward.
Well, that's it, but it is silly. They should save the manager of the season thing until the end of the season, shouldn't they? I've never got that. I never understood that.
I was assuming you were wrong when you said that, and it was actually just the
I'm
manager
right
of the
on
month
that, 100%
award or
on that
something.
one.
He's actually been awarded the manager of the season way before the end of the season.
Yes.
Surely the
They're
manager...
not even in the top two now. Yes, Cardiff have had a great season. Yes, their budget isn't as much as the likes of Fulham and Wolves, etc. But... yeah, they could still end up having a shit season.
That's bullshit. They could still not
and
go up.
they've basically not derailed, but since that's happened, they've been doing a bit shitter. So it's an interesting one there. For me, I have a funny feeling, like I was sidetracked, but for me, I have a funny feeling they won't make it into the Premier League. I think they're going to lose in the playoffs. For me, it's going to be Fulham and Wolves to go up automatically. Wolves are already there. And I think the team that will be joining them will be Aston Villa.
100% my picks as well. I'd have chosen the exact same three. I just fancy Aston Villa. They've had a poor start to the season, then come on strongly later.
Steve Bruce.
They've got some good players.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes, Brucey. He does know what he's doing. And of course, John Terry having somebody
Jack
like
Grealish,
that leader.
Playing well. Did you know Prince William is a fan of Aston Villa? Did you know that? And he actually went to the dressing room the other day. I think, was it before the game, the last game they had? Or no, maybe after. He loves Jack Grealish, saying Grealish should play for England. Saying you should be...
Shut up, Will!
Wait
Shut up,
mate.
pal!
Wait, that's blasphemy. You can't do that.
That's not blasphemy, is it?
Blasphemy,
like
what is
religion.
it?
He's not fucking Jesus or something, is he? See, that's blasphemy. Crikey.
But I mean, that would be crazy though if the royal family picked the England squad. Fuck Southgate off. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's Queen's pick. Yeah.
Right now, Charles, this is what I'm thinking. 4-4-2, 4-4-2 with Kane and Vardy as like the head of the scepter.
It would be just figures though, mate. Just imagine if the Queen was actually the manager of the England side. That would be amazing. Can you imagine the Queen sat at the touchline? Do you know what I mean? Just sort of escorted down. Yeah. Everybody's kind of like, "Whoa, it's the Queen." Do you know what I mean? You would respect that lady. We'd win the World Cup if the Queen was the manager of the team. I'm telling you right now.
Giving the old half-time team talk.
You got Prince Philip on the sideline like Joe Jordan or something, just shouting commandments. 90-something years old.
Just imagine her in the half-time. We're 1-0 down. This is a fucking disgrace, lads. It's a fucking disgrace. Keeps, where's your fucking head? No, I don't know if it would be. I'm going to release the corgis on you if you don't score in the second half, prick. Oh, dear.
Dear me.
Where has this podcast gone, mate?
Dear me. Next subject. Let me check.
With the Pig and the Hen show, anything can happen, you know. Woo. But wouldn't it be good though if you had Charles managing Wales, the Prince of Wales managing Wales? Yeah, he's got Gareth Bale against the Queen, and then we've got, I don't know, so who's Scottish that can manage Scotland, mate? Who's the Duke of Edinburgh?
That's the husband, isn't it? That's Prince Philip.
Right, we've got Philip taking over Scotland. He's got
the royalty's like fuck FIFA and UEFA. We're going to have our own.
And then Ireland just don't give a fuck. They don't follow into it, so they just got like Conor McGregor essentially. He's just smashing up the team bus before the fucking game.
Oh, mate, Conor McGregor. Can you imagine Conor McGregor as a manager of Ireland? Oh, that'd be awful, mate.
It'd be hilarious, mate.
Awful.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, please comment in with your manager recommendations, celebrity managers. I've always thought celebrity
Kim Jong-un managing Korea.
Yeah.
Go on, do an impression, mate. Half-time team talk. Go on, do one.
Oh, no, so not good. They're very not good. Why? Why you play like a fucking dickhead, huh? You fucking bloody stupid fucker.
Awesome, man. Yeah, Donald Trump managing the United States as well.
Pulisic United manager, yeah, that'd be an interesting
They should just do that for a laugh. They should just do that for a laugh one year. You know, just have the nation's leaders managing the football team.
No, that would
maybe
be
in
epic.
the Olympics or something.
It would be epic.
Putin with Russia. Right, unless you score me 3 goals in the second half, you will receive some kind of poison when you leave. What was that thing they used the other day, mate? A nerve agent.
Nerve agent.
Body, speaking nerve agent now.
Oh, no. I mean, I think the best sort of people would be actors, wouldn't it? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. No!
We got to get to the World Cup!
Get to the chopper!
Oh, dear.
Arnie, yeah, that would be good, man. Arnie. It's got to be, innit? Fair play to Arnie. He had heart surgery.
Oh, yeah. Is he okay,
right.
is he?
Love a bit
Absolute
of Arnold
legend,
Schwarzenegger.
yeah.
Talk about Arnie. That makes me think Predator. That makes me think Alien. I watched a fucked up film last night because I was... I've already told him that I watched it, but let's imagine that he doesn't know. So I was desperately disappointed yesterday. Obviously, Tottenham losing to Manchester City. I needed to take my mind off it. What better than an epic Ridley Scott sequel? High budget sci-fi horror just to fuck your mind. Alien. It's gonna be aliens ripping out of chests and shit. I fucking loved it. Brilliant film. It was Alien Colony, is it called?
Covenant.
No, Covenant, sorry. Yeah. Don't even know the name of the film.
I've not seen it myself.
Alien Covenant, but it was sick and horrible. But I'm into that sort of shit,
Fucking love, I love check it out, man. Love a bit of Aliens. We've got Ryan Bolton, Spartan Unique Fitness RB. Comments and says you've got to get a short handle, pal. But he says... Love the Sports Direct mug, yeah. The 99p at Sports Direct. It's not an advert for them.
Newcastle fan.
I know, I actually don't like the fact that I bought it. I mean, it was so cheap and so big that I actually had to buy it. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm effectively putting money into that twat Ashley's pocket, aren't I, by having that?
And he's just putting
calories... What a freaking sellout I am!
That's just helping to put calories into your body.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, I'm actually supporting Newcastle financially, in one regard.
I know, that's awful.
It's not good, is it? What am I doing, mate?
Awful.
Yeah, let me just tell them something about you, mate. Yeah, back in the day, yeah. So I'm not going to get into details, but we used to work in an office. Better not be any
one of them stories that you're not allowed to say about
it's
me.
It's not, no. We used to work in an office, right? And somebody did something nice for Henry one day, help him out with something that was going on. Helped him out. And Henry, as a thank you, went out and he spent his own money on a Chelsea calendar for this Chelsea fan that helped him out, right?
Oh, yes, I remember this.
You remember that? It just popped in my head as we were talking about that. You actually spent money supporting Chelsea by buying their official merchandise. The shame! Shame! You know that scene you were talking about in Game of Thrones? I haven't seen it, mate. But shame! Shame!
You are catching up with Game of Thrones, though. I have managed to convert this cunt. You know what I mean? You are starting to watch it.
I'm starting to watch it.
Season 3, you are where Jamie Lannister's lost hand disfigured his anatomy. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. It was always a bit too slow for me. I watched the first series and then I just had a break. And then one day I just thought, screw it, I'll go back to it, give it another go. But the first series just bored me to tears, man. But I have got into it. That's the best theme tune ever, by the way. Not that good of a TV program, but an awesome theme. No, it is a good theme tune. It is a good TV program, actually. I got into it, man. It is pretty decent. So yeah, fair play to you. And if anybody's out there like me, it's like I'm not really into Lord of the Rings and shit like that. Not sure if I'm gonna like it. Give it a couple of seasons at least. Because first season didn't grip me. Second season I thought was really good.
Very good. It is good, yeah.
Joe Buddha comments and says Alien Covenant was terrible. See, this is what I was hearing about. Very mixed reviews on that film.
I enjoyed it, Joe Buddha. I did. I really enjoyed it because it was just, even though it's brought nothing new to the table and it was very much rehashed shit in many regards, it was rehashed done very well for me. Very good rehash. Cinematic brilliance, Ridley Scott. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I mean, if you want like a more mind-boggling kind of movies, then watch stuff like Cloverfield. They've got another one coming out which is sort of completely unrelated.
M. Night Shyamalan.
I love that shit.
It might be. I love that Sounds
sort
like
of films,
it.
Yeah.
District 9, Crumpet says District 9 was awesome.
The District 9 was pretty good, yeah.
Haven't seen any of those films.
Yeah, I
consider
love those
myself
sort of films.
A bit of a cinephile.
I'm probably going to go home and watch one tonight. But the trouble is, I watched them all. It's so annoying. That's why I had to watch all last. I stayed up till 4 a.m. watching that.
Shebsy comments and says the story and cinematography was excellent. No, sorry, he says the setting and cinematography was brilliant, but the story was utter wank.
But I did quite like the coming together of the androids. I love that shit.
Mate, don't spoiler alert, mate. Spoiler alert. I don't want to hear about no androids coming over together or nothing. Alex Rudd says
coming over each other.
Alex Rudd, what, it would be like proper, be extra white.
If you like Fassbender, then watch it.
Alex Rudd says the first 2 Alien films and kind of the third one are good. Totally agree, man. The first one's good,
everybody
little
says that.
bit slow,
true,
bit
though,
of a Ridley Scott classic,
is the best.
Aliens, James Cameron, the second one with the little girl and also the yellow, mechanical machine, Sigourney Weaver, all that. Pretty damn good. They mostly come out at night, mostly. all that stuff. Pretty damn good film. Third one, little bit ropey.
It's good. We've done well on tonight's show.
Alien Resurrection, bit shit. You know,
we've done well with tonight's show, though, because I've just checked the list of topics that we're supposed to discuss, and we've covered it all apart from one. So we've done well. We've done well. We don't need to do my normal squeezing loads of subjects right in at the end because I'm so pissed off that we haven't been able to mention certain things. So we are on track.
It's also really cool that you guys just come up with random topics while we're doing this video and remind us and get us on another tangent. Like Rasmus A here has commented and said the most important topic that just came to my mind is Zlatan. What do you think about him conquering the MLS? I think we did brush on this
last week.
But I think, he is going to conquer the MLS. He's
want him to conquer the World Cup. That's what I want him to do. I want him to play for Sweden. He's got to.
Come on, Sweden. Call him back out of it. In fact, he probably doesn't even need to get called. He's probably like, Zlatan decides if he calls up Sweden to World Cup. Not the other way round, you know what I mean? It's like Zlatan decides. Lions do not wait for team selection.
But he's decided he wants to play, so he's playing.
He's just going to fucking turn up.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Even if he has to run on the pitch, it's like a crowd invasion or something. Do you know what I mean? Has anything like that ever happened? I would love that. Like a player that hasn't been picked, right, for his country for whatever reason, you know. So, like, maybe there's been a bit of a public outcry because, you know, this player hasn't been picked and he's a great player and he hasn't been picked, and then he just turns up at a game, World Cup final, you know, his team are losing, right? One of the players is injured, like the managers look at the subs bench, nobody wants to come on, they're all shitting it. Suddenly, Paul
Gascoigne,
you know, some shit like that, you know, fucking like music comes on, you know, pulls the clothes off, he's got that Zlatan's got that yellow shirt on or whatever, and he comes on, he scores a goal. Obviously, it would be disallowed, but it would be the most brilliant thing ever.
It would be disallowed. He's not registered in the 23-man squad or whatever. You got to go home, Zlatan.
Yeah, but it would. You're
just slowing down play.
It would be epic, though, wouldn't it? You'd love that.
Honestly, though, Sweden, if they've got anything about them, I know they have qualified for this World Cup without him largely, but you've got to try and convince Zlatan to come out of retirement internationally for you, because he is a quality player. He deserves to play at this World Cup. He really does. And in regards to the original question there by Rasmus, I think he's going to conquer the MLS based on his first performance that he had the other day, scoring those 2 goals, one of them incredible. And I just think it goes to show some of the lack of quality. I think that goalkeeping was questionable, man, for that wonder goal that he scored. Still an unbelievable strike. Questionable goalkeeping. Like, why are you so far forward? What are you doing? You just wouldn't really get that in the Premier League. And of course, everyone's half a yard slower. The technique's not quite up to the same standard. Whereas Zlatan's technique is not really going to leave him. He's one of the best sort of technicians in world football. So I think he's going to score a shitload of goals over there and just become a complete LA Galaxy legend. That's what I reckon. And good luck to him over there. I would still have him at Manchester United personally. You know, just his reputation alone, his presence, his ability to, you know, have an impact on the squad, even though not playing, is large. And his actual abilities is out of this world.
Do you know what the
One
MLS
of the most
is
talented
about?
players of his generation.
It's the swan song for the world's greatest.
It is.
That's what it is. If you know,
definitely
a bit of R. Kelly, world's greatest. You know, think about that song.
I'm that star up in the sky. I'm that mountain peak up high.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I made it. I'm the world's greatest.
And that little bit of hope.
Sorry, not
gonna get into that. Yeah, brilliant song. But you know, that's what it's about.
Should we do Gotham City now?
David Beckham, Thierry Henry, they all go there, don't they? Just to
Frank Lampard, Stevie Gerrard,
just a peacock.
Robbie Keane.
They go to the MLS and they just peacock and say, "Look at me, I'm Frank Lampard." You know what I mean?
Why is he speaking American, mate?
I don't know.
He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm Frank Lampard." He wouldn't go, "Oh, look at me, I'm Frank Lampard." What the fuck is going on in your head, mate? But,
do you think West Bromwich Albion will stay up? Says Guffer 1891. Well, that is 1891 mentality, mate. They are definitely not going up just because they beat Manchester United. They don't mean shit. They are well off the pace.
They're down.
We have to talk. Should we talk about the final topic?
Yeah, I just want to read this comment. Mo Wadder says, Pele played in the MLS, kinda. Yeah, I think it was like the National American Soccer League or something back then. And he played for the New York City Cosmos, the old sort of incarnation of the current Cosmos. And I think that's what did a lot for American soccer, if you like, or football in America, which we'll call soccer because we're talking about it in America. And of course, what Pele did was bring a lot of eyes onto the sport. And a lot of that carried over. They also had players like George Best go over there back in the day. So it's happened for a long time. It's like a retirement ground for these top quality European players and also South American players. They go over there and they have a couple of good seasons at a lower level, prolong their careers a little bit more, make a good payday. It'd be nice. I think the MLS is only going to improve, though. I mean, I think we're still a few years away from them competing with the likes of, United or Real Madrid or something for somebody's signature. It's not going to happen. It's like a retirement ground.
Very much so. Very much so. So final topic, ladies and gentlemen, of the evening. And it's not nothing that exciting, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about because it is fresh. It's fresh this season and very controversial. It is the sad and sorry VAR. What is your first? Just quickly, 10 seconds. What's your thoughts on VAR?
It's an absolute bag of shite. Slows the game down. Doesn't even make anything clearer. It just gives the opinion on the decision to somebody else who's just as likely to fuck it up. It's a bag of shite.
Yeah, 100% agree. I like goal line technology. That needs to stay in place. I think that they need to develop some sort of technology and only use it once it's 100% for offsides. I think that would help the game if you just had it. It needs to be bang on it though. The goal's gone in. Is it offside or not? Yes, it is, or no, it's not, because the computer, not some dickhead that's looking at some silly fucking Etch-a-Sketch. Because that's what it looks like sometimes. They got some jagged line, Etch-a-Sketch bullshit. Some cunt sat in a room somewhere thinking, is it offside or not? I don't know. What did the ref say? I don't know. We're talking. There's nothing on the big screen in the stadium. Nobody knows what's going on. Is it a goal or isn't it? Absolute bullshit. Absolutely kills the passion of the game. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. People are paying for entertainment. When the goal goes in, people were celebrating because a goal's gone in. Nobody wants to sort of go, wait, stay in your seats, wait, shh.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me, mate.
Take it easy, stay in your seats, because as you can see, the referee's just on the thing now. We don't know what's going on. Let's just wait and see. Oh, it's a goal. Yeah, no, or it's not a goal. Oh, fuck off.
At least show everybody.
It ruins.
At least show everybody in the stadium. Do you know what I mean? Everybody can see the replay. It adds a bit of drama to it, and then at least you'll know. Oh yeah, it was offside. Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. We were booing him, but it actually is a penalty. He did clip him there. But no, they don't even do that.
For me, everything in football is point of view. To some tackles, a point of view. People debate red cards, yellow card decisions, penalty decisions all the time. Okay, for me, everything should be the referee's decision. Traditional. That's how I like it. But I think we can get to the point where maybe you don't have linesmen, or you've got linesmen so people can see what's going on, but the actual offside decisions are made by computer. I think I'd like that, because offside is offside.
Surely they've got to have that technology already, though,
you would have thought so. How difficult
it's
can
just
that
got to
be?
pick up the shirts and maybe the boots, see which shirts kick the ball at any given time, or what.
But it needs to be clever. It needs to be a computer program that's very, very highly sophisticated, because it needs to be able to work out when the ball's bounced off another player, where that player was when the ball was kicked, if that player was out of action, whether he was in play, etc., etc. There's a lot of things.
It's probably never going to be perfect. It must be really hard to develop actually when you put it in those terms.
It would be tricky, but if they could, brilliant. If they could,
there was
brilliant.
One incident this season recently. I can't remember who we were playing now, but it was Manchester United. And we had a goal disallowed because of an offside, and it was a perfectly legitimate goal. And the linesman was in line perfectly with the last line of defence there, and when the ball was passed, he was perfectly in line. And he kept his flag down, and it was allowed to be slotted into the back of the net. Now, the VAR was brought into it, and they replayed it, and the referee then made an incorrect decision that it was... I mean, it's debatable, but in my opinion, it was incorrect. I think it was Juan Mata, that's it, yeah. Mo Wallace's Mata's goal, I was fuming, yeah, completely forgot. But thank you for reminding me again. Juan Mata, and he had scored a perfectly legitimate goal, and it was ruled out after it had gone to VAR, after they spent minutes looking at it. They still made the wrong decision. Why not just give the linesman the benefit of the doubt? We just need linesmen. Fuck this computer shit. The linesman, rightly or wrongly, whether he gets the decision right or wrong, that's his decision based on that moment in time.
So you're more traditionalist than me, because you just want to keep it proper.
I do, yeah.
So you are goal line technology only?
Yes, or maybe major incidences like penalty shouts as well, possibly.
See, that's when I don't like it. I want those to be the referee's decision. Penalty shouts have to be...
Yeah, but if the referee's maybe not seen it, I want the referee and everybody in the stadium to be able to see a replay of the call. That way, you can see if it is a penalty or it's not a penalty.
So the referee's watching with everybody else and then makes the decision based on the
like they do in rugby.
footage.
Like they do in rugby.
I could take that. But for me, it has to be the referee's decision. I don't like some other bastard sat somewhere making decisions for a game. I don't like that at all because he's not at the game. It's just it doesn't feel right at all. At all. Okay. I like the if they could get the technology up to the level where corner decisions, throw-in decisions, was the player inside or outside the box at the time. Of the foul, it's like anything that can be like position based. If we can get to the technological level to implement that kind of assistance into the game, then yes. But everything else should be the ref's decision. And as you said, yes, maybe if the referee can't see it, then he can see from a television replay, and that's how I'd have it. That's how I'd have VAR. I'm glad that the panel, Premier League panel, have decided that we're not going to have it next season, and long may that continue because it spoils the passion of the last thing you want to do in football is kill the game. And I'd rather have incorrect decisions than kill the passion of the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes an incorrect decision can inspire a team to come back and win. There's interesting stuff that happens when decisions go wrong for teams sometimes. And that's almost part of the beauty of the game. There is an element of beauty of that in the game when things are not fair. Because sometimes life ain't fair. And you have to stand up and you get back in that ring.
That's it.
There's what I'm saying?
Everyone always loves a bit of controversy, apart from maybe the team that it happened to. Of course, if we had goal line technology back in the day when England played Germany in the World Cup in 2010, was it? And we had that goal ruled out, Frank Lampard's equaliser would have been 2-2.
I know.
And that would have changed the game entirely because it meant that England had to keep going at it, commit numbers forward. In the end, Germany were able to exploit us at the back. But they went 2-0 up. We made it 2-2. Frank Lampard's goal was ruled out. I mean, that's bullshit, really, isn't it? But that's the fact. Those moments are made they're etched in history. And if you take that out of it, and who's to say that you don't just get some twat who makes the wrong decision even after seeing a replay, and then it's also controversial. So you're still going to get controversy like we have seen in VAR, except that it slows everything down. You might as well keep the controversy that's going to happen with human judgment, and humans do make errors, but also more often than not, they're going to get it right. If you look at the referees in the Premier League, something ridiculous like 96% or something of the decisions that they make are bang on. There's always going to be some that are hard to judge. Maybe the referee just wasn't quite looking, or somebody was in his way, or But at the end of the day, he's the referee. The final decision should lie with him. I don't even think we need any VAR. Goal line technology is brilliant, but other than that, do you know what? I'm leaning towards just having goal line technology and nothing else. I am.
So you wouldn't have it where if you knew that a program could 100% tell you if the player was offside or not. Do you not think that?
I think it's going to make errors though, man, because it's not clever enough to think, it's just knocked off the defender there, or it's. I think it'd be hard to come up with a program that's capable of doing that to the level of a human being. Alex Rudd with a super chat. Thank you very much, Alex Rudd. He comments and says, "In NBA, the crowd sees what the refs see."
And in most sports,
why the fuck don't we do that in football? Why?
Maybe they're concerned that football is a type of game. There have been
crowd trouble.
Troubles in the past, haven't they?
But surely that's going to happen either way if there's a controversial decision made by a referee. We're not.
Yeah, but if everybody sees on the screen that it was definitely a penalty, and then Mike Dean still says not a penalty.
That happened, didn't it? At a World Cup, maybe Mexico was playing, or can't remember now, but it happened. There was an incident. Maybe an African team was involved where they showed the replay of it after in the stadium, and they weren't supposed to.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think it was Ghana maybe playing.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling. I seem to remember, but they replayed it, and it was clear, and all the fans were like, "What the fuck? He's a mile offside," or whatever the decision was, and everyone in the crowd was just sickened. Anybody can remember what game that was?
No,
can't remember.
That would be horrific, wouldn't
it? But just want to say to everybody. Oh, go on. You go on.
Just last thing, I just say it does worry me that it's implemented into the Russia this year World Cup, because that something calamitous is going to happen. They're going to have an absolute VAR disaster.
Definitely. David Ojuwumi comments and says, Cameroon. Yeah, you've got a really good memory, man, if you can just remember that. Fair play to you, pal. Maybe you're from Cameroon, is that why you know? Yeah, I just wanted to say, everybody who has tuned in and watched this video tonight live on YouTube, what, are you doing the loser sign to me when I'm speaking,
no, mate? That's just a little itch, mate. I got next, mate. Yeah.
Who fucking itches their head like that?
Fly! Boo! Boo!
But anyway, everybody who's tuned in, thanks so much for getting involved in the comment section and watching this video. do us a favour, chuck a like on it. Reason I'm saying this now is because I think we should pretty much wrap it up now for the evening, mate. I've just seen the time. It's coming up to midnight. It's like
you want me to go, don't you?
11.
This is your way of saying,
basically need
fuck
you to
off,
do
mate,
one, mate.
innit?
Need you to do one, pal.
Well, it's just like some Man City fan or something, isn't it? Because that's what you were telling them to do earlier. But all they're going to be doing is doing one down to go and celebrate with a bit of Chardonnay and caviar this evening because they have won the Premier League.
I don't think the average City fan will be eating caviar and Chardonnay, do you? Do you? More like frickin' Stone's Bitter and a frickin' pie.
Sounds like a better evening than you're going to have.
Maybe. I think Pep Guardiola and the boys, they'll be sipping on the champers and drinking eating the caviar and all that.
Have you ever had caviar?
Did you hear Pep Guardiola? What a miserable bull bastard. Freaking despise that guy. I don't actually, he's alright, but he's this bit of a smarmy prick, isn't it? It's like, oh, are you going to be watching the Man United game today? No, I'm just going to be going playing around with girls because I'm above that. I'm above fucking watching Man United.
No, but he's cool. That is cool, though. He's just playing golf, and then Caddy comes over and says, yeah, won the league, and he's like, wait, I just need to take the shot, you know. Yeah.
And he just looks over.
You know, he's the man.
Birdie. Won the league and a fucking birdie.
Man City Eagle.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Of course it is.
Eagle.
Of course it is. Should we just finish on fine foods? Have you had caviar before?
Never.
I've never eaten that shit. Do you know
looks
what caviar
disgraceful.
is?
It's fish eggs, right?
It's raw fish eggs, isn't it?
Doesn't sound appetising to me.
Just like, if you Game of Thrones style, you just kind of pick up that fish from the stream, slit it, a few eggs fly out, and you're just there going, long. Fresh caviar, mate. Does that sound appetising to you, son? No, it doesn't to me.
No, I've never had that before, man. I hear it's just mainly a garnish, isn't it? People just shovel it in there on its own, do they?
I don't know, mate.
I would never eat that shit,
I think I have eaten fish eggs before, to be fair, in China.
Alex Rudd, yeah, you would know. You would know Alex Rudd in your freaking ivory tower
Ivory
over there.
tower bastard, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair play to you. He says caviar is the shit. Black caviar is the best. Fair play to you, pal. What's that, like $80 a can or something?
It's expensive shit, caviar.
It is expensive. I think it's a bit less expensive than it used to be due to modern farming techniques.
What about truffle? You've eaten truffle?
Huh?
Truffle? You ever eaten truffle?
Oh, truffle. No, I don't think I've ever had truffle before.
I've had like a chocolate truffle.
Yeah, I've had one of those. But you're
Nice.
talking about that white thing that they shave on top of food.
I think so, yeah.
Never had that before.
You might have done.
Alex Rudd, how's a truffle, pal? Please tell me. I'd love to know.
That's it.
But you can tell just from hearing us speak, we're pretty much common as muck, aren't we, really?
Very common peasants.
We're basically peasants. We are. Reese Proctor, he says, anyone eaten black pudding? Yeah, me.
I don't like black pudding.
I quite like it.
You
I'm
do,
gonna be
but I
honest.
like Stilton.
Yeah,
Have some of that.
I'm into that.
There's a lot of people don't like the
I'm
blue
into my
cheese and that.
cheeses. I'm into deep blue cheeses.
Yeah, I like
Danish blue,
cheese.
all sorts.
Yeah.
I'm into all of
Right,
that.
what's the weirdest thing that you like?
Black
then,
pudding is
food-wise?
disgusting, though, isn't it? When you think about it, it's just pig's
I don't
blood.
really
mate.
like
It's just
that.
fucking pig's blood. But it tastes nice, though. But it is pig's blood. I mean, to me, that's cannibalism.
Is it? Apparently,
flying pig, aren't I?
apparently it has been reported that anyone that has eaten human flesh says it does taste the meat that it tastes most similar to is pork.
All right, okay. Why the fuck are you bringing this up?
Well, you mentioned
Why are you
cannibalism.
bringing this up, frickin' Ed
You
Game?
managed cannibalism, so basically I could get a good bit of bacon out of you, especially considering you are the flying pig. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So you literally just farm me for bacon.
That's
with
it,
you,
Hannibal
mate.
Lecter style.
Or like in The Walking Dead season 4. Or maybe season 5. I forget. Back when it was good. Back when it was actually
Still
good.
pretty good. I love a bit of
Ah, disappointed with this last season, man. Just come on, hurry up and finish the fucking war already. You know,
I know, it
why are
is
we
a bit
stringing this
annoying.
out? Do you know what's annoying about it? They've already done this. Season 3 with the freaking governor and the prison and all that. The two warring cities. It's the same freaking story, man.
Spoiler alert, but
Let's do something else.
Spoiler alert, but it just pisses me off that every time Rick gets pissed off, like he loses a family member, he just decides to kill innocents, and everybody just has to feel sorry for him because Kyle died, or oh, your missus died, and it's like, well, stop just killing people. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be the hero. They try to make him some sort of anti-hero, like they have this weird dark twist to it. But in the end, the person sitting at home watching the thing, you just think, Rick Grimes, you're a cunt, mate.
I know, mate. Mate, I'm Team Negan, mate. I am.
Sort of Team
Think about
Negan.
it. Think about it. This whole thing started.
But then
because
again,
Rick
no, he
and-
crushed
Spoiler
Glenn's
alert.
head, though. He
No.
crushed Glenn's
Spoiler
head.
alert.
Come on,
Spoiler
mate.
alert. We're going to get deep into The Walking Dead here.
Sorry if
Spoiler
you don't
alert.
watch The
Sorry
Walking
if you
Dead,
don't
by the
watch
way.
this. But spoiler alert, okay. Now, what actually happened? So basically, they reached an agreement with those Hilltop people. They said, oh, yeah, we'll take 50% of your stuff instead of Negan taking 50% of your stuff. We'll go in the middle of the night, gat all these people up, stab them in the heads while they sleep, which they did. Glenn's in there. He don't want to do it. Still does it. Stabs them all in the head, right? Okay, all those people died. They were just a satellite of Negan's operation. They were just a satellite. That's what started the whole thing. Then Negan goes, oh, shit, some wankers stuck in the middle of the night, killed everybody while they slept, like fucking cowards. So what does he do? He gaffs them all up. And do you know what he does? Instead of butchering the whole lot, he just kills 2 of them to make a point and says,
horrifically.
Right, now you can carry on with your lives, but just don't fuck with me. That's basically what he did. That's the nicest thing he could have done. Everybody else deserved to get
nicest thing.
Because
it's not the come on. It's not.
Mate, everybody else should have had their head caved in as well. They killed like 15 of their men for no reason, unprovoked, didn't even know them at that time. So what do? He only kills 2 of them.
Bash the Asian guy's head in. Why Glenn? I just don't get it.
Well, because, you know, if you were going to kill 2 people...
And the big ginger.
That's what I mean.
The ginger and the Asian.
If you were going to have to choose 2 people, it would be the ginger and the Asian, wouldn't it?
Fucking terrible.
I'm joking, right? But anyway, I just think that there's every reason to dislike Rick in this posse. And Negan's, you know...
Rick's starting to piss me off now. I don't want his watch anymore. What watch does Negan wear? I've watched Negan.
Right, okay, I think we should wrap it up here, man. But sorry about that if you just don't know anything about The Walking Dead. Also, sorry about that if you do watch The Walking Dead, you haven't seen the last series or whatever. We just spoiled it for you.
That's probably the most that we've ever mentioned, because we always get a little bit of snippet of Negan this, Negan that, bit of whistling. But we've actually done a little bit of Walking Dead talk. So if you like Walking Dead, maybe we could do a separate show, like an entertainment show. Because I like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I like to be entertained.
Right, so we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you for tuning in to everybody who's watched tonight. Do us a favour, go over to iTunes, search Mr. Flying Pig HD or Pig in the Hen Show or Pigcast. Should come up there. Please subscribe so you can listen along to the audio version of this on your phone or device. Also, soundcloud.com/Mr. Flying Pig HD. You can also listen to it on there. I will upload this a bit later on, so it goes on there so you can, listen to it whilst you're, pumping one out at the gym, pumping one out at home, pumping one out on the toilet, all sorts of pumpings.
Where's this come from, mate?
You can do it when you're pumping. So thank you so much for tuning in. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video and hit the subscribe button if you happen to have stumbled across this and you're new on here. You can follow us on social media. I am Mr. Flying Pig HD on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. You are Henry_Hotspur on Twitter. His YouTube channel is Henry Hotspur. Search that, subscribe. He may be doing new videos at some point. Anything else you want to add at the end of this video, Henry?
Well, we've got the FA Cup coming, haven't we? Massive one. I have already ensured that I've got a hall pass for the whole game, the whole afternoon, however long it goes on, if it's extra time pens. I am there, I'm watching it, and it's going to be massive. It's going to be our biggest show since probably England-Iceland in terms of passion. I'm not saying that we are more England fans than United or Spurs fans, but that England-Iceland game, when it comes to the World Cup, it's massive, isn't it, as Englishmen? This is massive for us in terms of the clubs that we love, that we hold dear in our hearts, in my white heart, yeah?
So true, though, the Cocks come up against the Devils.
Last trophy that we can win, we don't even win the trophy at the end of the game. We'll probably end up losing to fucking Southampton after mugging Hughesy off. But do you know what I mean? Just to beat you, to get to the final. Fuck it. If Chelsea or if Southampton win it and we lose it in the final, at least we beat you to get there. At least we beat you to get there. I'm ready for it. I'm so
Look at him. He's right pumped up.
Talk about pumped, mate. I'm pumped, I'm telling you.
He's right pumped up. He's been pumping. So basically, that's going to be a huge game. Spurs versus United FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. We're going to be doing a live stream match companion for it live. So if you're watching it at home,
end, no matter how it plays out, yeah?
If you're watching it at home at the time, make sure you do tune in. Because there's going to be all sorts of passion going on. There's going to be sweat. There's going to be tears. One of us has got to lose.
Guts.
There may even be some blood flying about the place.
This is going to be Alien Covenant style.
Right, we'll wrap it up there because we're approaching the 90-minute mark. And, of course, we like to keep these podcasts about the same length as a game of football. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. He's been Henry Hotspur.
What? That's not right. That's not right.
I've been the pig.
I've been the hen. Bark, bark.
You've been watching The Pig and the Hen. We'll see you very soon. Take it easy to everybody who's tuned in. Have yourselves a really good week. Shame about Manchester United being absolutely gash-tastic. Congratulations to Man City, even though it pains me to say that. Pep Guardiola, go and sparkle that freaking shiny head, pal, and sparkle that trophy at the same time. Enjoy it, because next season you're relinquishing that shit to the mighty Red Devils.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I wish I could whistle. I really want to be able to whistle good so I could do the Negan whistle. I want to do that. I wish I could do that. I love it.
Right, anyway, we'll leave it there. See you, everyone. Thank you so much for getting involved. I'm talking to Stephen Zevon, the Alexes. I'm talking to...
Thank you for all the love out there. Some really nice
Ryan
comments,
Bolton,
actually, saying great stream, etc.
football fan.
If you believe that, then thank you. God help you, but thank you.
God help you. God love you. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next time. Pig and the Hen Show, hopefully on Thursday night. But if not... then, and maybe also, we'll definitely be doing one for the Manchester United versus Spurs
Saturday. We will be
FA
live
Cup.
from 5 o'clock.
And we're going to fucking batter
UK
you!
time. No, you're not.
We're going to fucking batter you, you bunch of melters!
No, you're fucking not.
Take it easy.
No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking
Wankers!
not.